I've had students struggle when they start off learning accounting and finance, and then they're given an Excel assignment to do, and they have to learn Excel, and this frustrates them further. In my previous video, I mentioned how knowing the arithmetic functions helps in learning Excel better and faster, but I really didn't explain myself. Let me show you what I meant using a simple example. Let's say we want to add 10 and 1. Some students will put in 11, and this does not show their work. If the problem is difficult, if the numbers are in the thousands or millions and you have to divide or multiply, and there's a mistake made with a calculator, the student will not get any credit for it. Other students use Excel as a calculator, so they'll say equals 10 plus 1 to come out with 11. And this may show the work up here, but I'll show you a better way. Better than that is to actually put the data, 10 and 1. And this is a very common situation. And then to add them up, we can say plus and go over to the 10 and plus and go over to the 1 and hit enter, and that's 11. And this shows our work. It's also a lot easier. And on top of it, if let's say we want to make this look better, we'll learn to underline and make it a better presentation. Let's go over to the averages from my previous presentation where we said we had a class with test scores and we calculated the average. I'll double click over here and I see I have my formula in there, and I also see that my data is highlighted. And the nice thing about this is that let's say this is test 1 and now we want to get test 2, and all we have to do now is just copy test 1 over, edit it, and then take this and I'll just drag it from the right lower hand corner. And I'll put the new test scores in. Let's say Anne has a 90, an 88 here, a 70, and a 60. And here we have our new sum. I'll double click it, and we can see that the new data is highlighted. It moved over when I copied column B to column C. And I'll double click this, and we see that I'm dividing the new total by 4. And then we can take this a step further because we're not frustrated figuring out how to add everything. And we just copied test 2 over. And it took us very little time. And maybe this teacher wants to give grades. So we'll say, we'll go over here to the sigma, and we'll click it, and that adds up Anne's 2 tests, and we'll just divide it by 2. And now we see that Anne has an average of 95. And I'll just copy this down. And now this teacher can give grades for this class. Let me look at one other problem from last week, from the last video, where we had a percentage increase. And we said that we would get the difference from January's revenues to February's revenues, and that's 20,000. And we would divide this 20,000 by this 100,000. And here I put the formulas in, and let's make this a percentage. And that's our 20%. But now when we carry this over and we change this data to 80,000, we all know that going from 120 to 80 is minus 40,000. Okay, and here this changed, but I had to refigure out this calculation. A better way of doing this is to just use your formulas from the start and say 120 up here minus 100 up here, and copy it over. And we'll copy it using the months too. Okay, and it filled in the names of our months, which is nice. We'll put 80,000. And let's make this 200,000 and 300,000. And everything is calculated for us. I'll double click and we can see. And then once you're not frustrated by doing the simple arithmetic on Excel and learning how to copy and move things around, then you can learn how to underline, you can learn how to format for dollar signs or percentage signs. And then I think that if you use Excel in this fashion when you're first learning Excel, I think you'll learn it better and faster, and you won't have as many frustrations. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video.